Hello everyone and welcome to another pick a card reading. For today's subject, I would like to offer a purely either spiritual or magical alchemical reading where the themes, they don't depend on me because the cards will look at what is playing on in your life right now, but it should be more of a spiritual or magical or alchemical theme. And even if it has something to do with other areas of life, still, the theme should be the spiritual part of it, or better said, many of us might have to take action as Jupiter very, very soon re-enters Aries. But before it does, at 29 degrees anaretic position of Pisces, it's all about magic, it's all about the spirit. So, for today, I would like to offer these three magical, alchemical, so to speak, spiritual, and even religious, but these are, hand in hand with each other, symbols to choose from. So we have a pentagram here, a pentacle. Then the hand of Fatma. Or there are so very many terms that we could describe the mystic palm with, but let's keep it simple. And we have the hexagram or Star of David, or including this has so very many interpretations, but also functions. It can be both seen highly religious, but alchemical, but whatever it says and speaks and appeals to you with, of course. So if you would like to, pause for a second, if you need a bit more time to make your choice. And here I would rather suggest, rather than to tune into our ideologies which are there, but that also kind of Sagittarius energy. We should rather allow the intuition to flow, even if that might not want to choose the symbol which is more close to us religiously. So let us begin. For this, so the Pentacle, the first group, Pentacle here, and I'm using one tarot deck. And I'm using this one because it's so very in theme with, Jupiter and Pisces and Neptune and everything. And the fixed stars. So then, let us allow the spirit to show us what it wants. Okay. Temperance. Six of Cups. Wow. And Mat, but Justice, classic tarot reversed. Of course, there are tarot decks where 8 is strength. There are other tarot decks where 8 is, as I said, justice. So perhaps a few clarify, but since 3 popped out, I would like to keep it 3. Because 3 in numerology, in magic, in anything spiritual, as in religious take even, it is high, the Wheel of Fortune, speaking about Jupiter. And of course, in this tarot deck, it is called the Ouroboros. So, the Egyptian serpent, the symbol of chaos, the symbol of the succession of life, death, the inhale and exhale of the divine, how everything is interlinked, how cycles of life prosperity or destruction, and you get the idea how they succeed each other. So it's all a cycle, a circle, sorry. So that is why it's so, and yes, it's the ancient Egyptian depiction of the serpent who eats its tails, or the dragon, or whatever it is. So the Wheel of Fortune with the Temperance. Lord of Cups reversed, Nine of Swords, and Four of Wands reversed. Okay, then let's ask for the Six of Cups. Four of Swords, Two of Cups reversed, Spirit of Cups, the Tower reversed. Interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. Okay, I'll keep you. And I think that the Justice kind of reversed is what it is. As in, it will remain the main energy because all of the clarifiers are just courtship cards, so yeah. So let's begin with the beginning, this Temperance. So, your spiritual journey. You might be very, very linked to Sagittarius energy, not necessarily astrologically in your own personal chart, but the galactic center, which is a permanent guest. Excuse my sorry choice of words in Sagittarius. That is a great, great power that basically rules all over everyone who has anything to do with spirituality. And where I'm going with this is that this is a cycle of maturity. This is also a cycle when things get serious, when things get real, when, the true knowledge that has been promised to you when you were a child, or interpret this so that it fits your own story. Yet still, I do believe that childhood is going to be a very, very important key element for everyone who has chosen the first pile. So let's even keep the childhood, that which was promised to you, or that which you prophesied to yourself, perhaps. Well, now is the cycle when you live it, when it's real, when it's serious, when it manifests, and it's more real than you could have ever expected. It blows your mind what you're living right now. And at the same time, it is a big period of healing. And this is where whatever is healing, and it has been healing for the past, I'm not even sure, 5 years, 4 or 5 years. It's not just what stemming from this incarnation. This lifetime is more important to you than you could ever imagine, and you could have ever imagined from the beginning, because this is a powerful soul and spirit healing life for you. And surprise, surprise, this is a period when it is actually happening. Like, this is it. You're in it. You're going through it. You have been, but now it's not the cauterizing, the tumor removal, or the cleanse purging, the violent part. Now it is when, it's healing. It's together. Sometimes the healing is slowed, sometimes it retrogrades, in the sense that, some wounds do close quite, how should I say, complicated, in a very, very complicated way, because, that's healing. sometimes healing stops, sometimes infection knocks at the door, yet the fight and the war is definitely not over. Because sometimes healing is just a game of resting and regeneration, other times it can be quite a battle, quite challenging. And maybe for some of you, there is an element of physical healing as well, but for others, it's really very, very heavy mental energy. So I'm not saying mental problems because it's not like that. All the disruption, all the chaos, all the conflicting, and I'm so sorry to say this, suicidal thoughts, those have been a mirror of what has happening to you energetically, spiritually, on a soul level. You simply got rid of a lot of elements from this incarnation, which you did not and do not want to own anymore. They were just, a filler of the story, and it has to, you have to get rid of it. So you needed to confront things, a lot of things. And perhaps that part, which has so much to do with this incarnation, that's all clear, but the heaviness of it did not make sense. So even you figured out that it stems from previous lives. But, you're not the kind of mystic spiritualist being person who is all that much about previous lives in the classic sense, because most of your activity did not need a life in the literal sense. So you're very, very tricky. So that's why your healing is very, very tricky. Many of your wounds were not received when you had incarnation, as in a persona. So your being is highly complex, and what we all of us call a personality, for you it's not really classical, because you're much more comfortable in the illusion of a personality, which of course which do not necessarily need a physical body, develop, or that's how they act. That's how they communicate. That's how even they interact with each other. So, but the big difference is that human beings and those who have been in human form for a long time take that seriously and don't see outside of it. Other beings who are very much lighter and cannot be immersed into the human existence as deeply, well, from the beginning know that it's a bit fake and there is no real or authentic. That is impossible, because you're aware of what personality and psychology and nature and the whole game is. So, but this is where the problem lies. The Four of Swords reversed, you lost your home, or you lost your marriage, you lost your family, you lost someone, you lost yourself, you lost your comfort. You were so abruptly uprooted by inner forces, because you manifested this, that it wasn't easy. Because your being needs a lot of emotion to flow through you in order for you to be your natural self. So this Lord of Cups reversed, emotionally, you really, really were beaten up heavily, and not necessarily by a person, by this material not really material, telluric existence, your consciousness having to exist for long in the earth plane. So it was very hard for you, and yet here we are, where you understand, where you accept, where there is no bitterness, where you're very, very balanced in philosophy. Not in any other way, but in philosophy, but that is so important. that you have no idea how important that is. So you might feel a bit scattered spiritually, in spirit, even in magic, even in alchemy. This Jupiter is empowering you in deep, deep ways. But you might feel right now that you don't even know what to, or how, or what to do with it. But it's okay. It's absolutely okay. Because, yeah, what you need in philosophy and faith and higher knowledge is steady. Very, very, very strong and steady. It's just the emotion. But then we get to the Six of Cups, childhood. How your magical spiritual journey started. That is what you're living right now, and the higher octave of it. Just remember your childhood. It had illusion, it had pain, it had disappointment, it had this and that. But no one is without that. But do be a bit, truthful with yourself and also admit the good side of that. And all you need to do is go back to childhood, and when you began your journey, be a bit Neptunian and disregard the discomfortable side, the loneliness, and look at all the miracles. Look at the feeling of it. How the sunlight, moonlight, whatever light, gazing through your window, before it was just a beam of light, after it was like the spirit was there and talking to you one-on-one. So there are a lot of moments which materially would seem a bit illusionary, but that was where magic truly reached you. So look back at childhood with different eyes and with a mature heart and spirit, and smile. Because if the energies are the same and you are living the higher octave of it, you know that and I'm so sorry to say it in such an inappropriate way, but spirit is gonna make love to you. As in sorry, but this is, look, the Two of Cups. Whatever this means to you, maybe you're disappointed in love right now, among so many other things. You feel that either you might have a lot of friends, support or whatever, but no one is like you, so you don't. Morally, yes. Morally, wow. But energy exchange wise, zero. And if this is a bit frustrating you, then remember back in your childhood, how many friends who you could allow in the most intimate part of your heart, did you have none? But how many people were around? Quite a few. You see how it plays out the same way. But now get the reason why is because spirit kept you for itself to, in a way, make love to you now. What this means, well, this is what you need to decipher. Is it coming into your awareness consciousness through your dreams at night, exactly when the candlelight starts to play, with feelings, with smell, with taste, with visual? How does the spirit lure you into its game? And I'm speaking about the now. Yesterday, today, this week, now. How is it playing with you? How is it alluring you? How is it seducing you almost? So the Tower reversed. How it is alluring you to either a state of frequency, a situation that needs to be because that's the alchemy. That is the mat. That is the key that will open what you need right now. Where spirit will show you itself physically. Now what does this, okay, disclaimer, so don't curse me or don't swear at me, Because I'm gonna explain what that means. It means that either it brings a situation that you cannot deny because you're in it, and chances are other people are in it, either for evidence that you cannot deny it, or they are the gates to this, so the spirit will work through them. But it can also be a manifestation, a magic act working beyond your wildest expectations. It can be many things, but it's real that I don't care about other people, but when you are one-on-one with the spirit, you will not be able to deny it. When the spirit will come and tell you, I helped you, I made it real, you will not be able to say, yes, but no, you will have to be a man or a woman and just admit it, that, yeah, it happened. So that's the tower reversed. But spirit is acting forcefully now. It's where it's not where you're leading the pace. It is dragging you where it needs to be. Sometimes it's so gentle, like, as I said, a lover from the heavens. Other time it drags you there. It's like a passionate, a little devil poking you to go there, go there, go there. Or it's tempting you, or it's using whatever you're hungry for in life to lure you somewhere to a meeting point. And that meeting point is the reverse of polarities, where what was until now, from childhood until now, your biggest, and I don't, how should I word this? Your biggest frustration, your biggest, I don't even know how to word this really. And it doesn't matter who you are, male or female, what really broke your wand in magic? What do you feel that you did not get enough recognition for in this world from peers, fellow mystics, whatever they are, or may it be in the other realms, but something always frustrated you where you felt like, I'm better than anyone else, and it's still not enough. And for other people, much less is more than enough. Or something like this, where, something like tunes you down. Like a how you say the opposite of a turn off, a massive turn off. And reverse polarities, where you thought you were kind of, magic was unfair to you, you get the opposite, where you will shine, like it or not. Anyway, a reverse of polarities, where it's either your time, your turn, or a manifestation is offered to you, or a function, a role, an honor, a power, like it or not. And the mix of emotions, what you will feel, the dreamer of wands, even more frustration. I did not expect this or ask for this, but then the lady of wands, when you start to see how wonderful the reverse of polarity is, and the spirit of wands, how free it makes you wands, you see the wands. So exactly, what does this mean for you? It doesn't mean that the universe hands you down something on a silver tray, no. It gives you the power, the frequency to get what you want. And the only way you can mess up is if you don't want it anymore. But that would be just childish. Whatever that is. And even mystically, as whatever you are, you're not going to be the same. You're changing, you're maturing, you have to be more willful, forceful, dominant, and take no BS from other people, other peers, other beings. time to show your wand. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. But that will be imperative. So I'm joking here, but that is a must. That is how you serve yourself, serve spirit. That is what the spirit is luring you to truly show your colors, your spiritual colors, to a person, to an industry, to fellow peers, fellow magicians, or to the astral, to beings, to the divine, to the creator itself. You're proving yourself right now. So yeah. And I also brought a different, more alchemical. Oh no, I didn't. Well, it's not a coincidence, then I'm not gonna use it. Then I shall ask an oracle card. Ah, okay. Let love be your beacon. Now I'm not actually gonna translate these, cause you're a mystic. So, help a bro out. And bountiful harvest. But to me this just kind of says that, yeah, what I been speaking about until now from tarot is kind of resonant. And this, well, you know, if the spirit is making love to you, then you kind of, how should I say, love is your first choice of power, energy, sphere, divine expression, realm, whatever it is that you use in your alchemy. Love, the principle of beauty, beauty and passion, beauty and grace. So those lead to the Neptunian, to the Venusian realms. They do lead to certain archangels, certain beings. So yeah, maybe, I don't know, but I would say that allow spirit to love you. Don't be afraid. You know, you have a problem that if you have expectations, it hurts you if they're not met. If you don't have expectations, then you can't be surprised. I don't know, you're a difficult being, so the human realm does not contain certain emotions that you feel. So certain emotions are kind of alien to everyone. So the divine itself can't fulfill you 100% because it would be impossible for the rest of even your peers. It would seem like a bit of an insanity. Like sweet and sour, bitter, sweet. It has to be but not sweet, not just one, not the most positive. That does not really work for you. How should I say? If you expect it, then it works for you, but your standards are Virgo-ish like difficult to meet. If you don't expect it, it won't surprise you. Simple as that. Because it will definitely not be the right combination of I don't know, the fight of it, the passion of it, the divinity of it, yet the beauty of it as well. So, you know, your alchemy is very, very high class. But because your soul is unlike any. So, how should I say? You have, and I would never ever say this to any other person in my career, do you have maybe a drop of some kind of expectation, but be open to whatever comes. So thank you so much for listening. I do hope this is helpful. Until next time, bye for now. Hello everyone who has chosen the mystic palm symbol. So just like the previous pile, this is about magic, this is about your spirituality. Let spirit say what they need to say. Judgment, Ten of Swords reversed, Dreamer of Wands. Actually, I feel that these belong together, so like this. Okay. Six of Pentacles. Ooh. And Death reversed. What is this? This is no. Okay. Okay. Two of Cups. Sorry. Nine of Swords. Two of Wands. Dreamer of Swords. Okay. Now, this is, as I said, really interesting. Isn't a card missing or something? Sorry. Anyway, so, it's really hard to put it into words because you guys are having a strong Plutonian moment when it's not really just about earthly life. It is not just about, how should I say, disincarnation. It's not even about necessarily about ego as in something that is deeply personal to your ego in this incarnation. It is more like you have to decide something on a soul level as a soul, and that has many parts which have not a lot to do with your persona in this life, but they have much to do with you need this incarnation to become aware of everything that you need to become aware of. And I do believe that that's what happened to you spiritually. Many paths in this lifetime, career path, work, where you ended up socially, school years, other people, even relationships of any kind. You know, these were mirrors, and many times they reflected to you how much you are different, how much you are more cooperative, even as a soul, than other people, other beings. Because the judgment, you're a Plutonian person, whatever this means, because I don't even know what this means. So, you're not the wishy-washy spiritual, you come with an intensity. You're not all that much about the highest octaves of knowledge and philosophies. This is where your will bends the rest of what surrounds you, reality, people, souls. You know, you have a very strong will and a very strong sense of judgment, sorry. So maybe what you're here to observe and reflect upon, but as I said, this is just one part. A part which is the main theme of your journey in the present. But the big picture, this is just one part of your soul journey. It's not the essence of all. But still, in the present, it might feel very, very important. So, where I want to go with this is, what does earthly life actually have to offer? As in, as a soul, you get how it trains us, how it matures us, how everything on earth is basically a condensed backup of information of what is in the highest realms, higher realms, or eternity, or whatever in the astral, in the spirit. You very well get that. But you also get that a lot of disharmonies here, well, they're the same in spirit, are they not necessarily? Yes, they are. So you judge. The judgment comes online. And when I say judge, you determine for your own being in what relation you are to the course of all things in existence. This is where you determine your attitude, because only now does your soul have enough knowledge, and this is where this incarnation comes in. This is the only timeline when you are permitted to see all that you need to see in one place. So maybe internet, modern living, all philosophies packed into one. Again, the internet, you have access to them. You have access to so very many other people, and more importantly, other beings from many different realms, spheres, timelines, packed in one place where you can message them even. So you see why you need this incarnation. To see your alliances where your heart, your ethereal, your soul's heart draws you, to which alignment, to which what is your opinion, the judgment of all of this, because you need to know your own reaction, your own, uh, again, I have to use the same word, how you judge it in order to see where you resonate. So this is why your career was so up and down, back and forth. You lived it maximally, and so did everyone else, but in the bigger scheme of things, it was just a job. Yet, that job had so many lessons to it, beautiful and sometimes not so much. It was actually bittersweet, because sometimes slavery can feel sweet. Sometimes, the Stockholm syndrome plays out in areas of life where you would think it's impossible, even spiritually sometimes, even psychologically, even to ourselves, even our relation to earthly life. So you had a lot of decanting to do, and this destabilized your energy, your life, mentally, spiritually, in so very many ways. The Nine of Swords, depression. Mentally, you lost a bit of stability because it was too much disappointment, too much, it doesn't make sense, too much, well, isn't government, politics, everything that I thought was stable in the world, the very thing that, how should I say, defeats the whole game of nature, yet it is imperatively necessary. So isn't existence a certain kind of dichotomy? And this in faith, this in higher understanding, is like a nodal energy which has to figure itself out. And until it figures itself out, as I said, earthly life is so and so. You can function very, very well. You are gifted with so very many things internally. But if life feels like a prison, then how much can you actually enjoy of that? And that is why right now things are changing. This is where you're entering into a greater stability, because unconsciously, or better said, not unconsciously, because this is high knowledge. This is where it's so high that you cannot fully grasp it in a human way, but your being knows enough in order to have made a choice. Six of Wands. Sorry. Six of Pentacles. You're getting it. As in, you're being given what you decided. And maybe this is where it's a person. I'm not sure if this is romantic energy or just soul connection, soulmate energy. Because, for example, if you're married and have children, chances are it's not going to be romantic, but this can come in form of a best friend, a new best friend, like who shows you the way, who really, really shows you the way. That friend's deep acceptance of you is gonna transform you. But for others, it might be, why not, a romantic type of relationship. Maybe it is not something that has to last forever. Maybe it is just a union, a temporarily union, but one with so much energy to it that it will, as I said, show you, propulse you into the right direction, where your life is going to be much more stable and materially, how should I say, the material will simply run itself. So you can imagine that your adventure as spirit, as soul, as maybe, I don't even know, your philosophical journey in this lifetime, this incarnation, truly, truly begins. So life will feel different, much more comfortable, and as I said, that is when you discover how reality reacts to your moods, to your frequencies, to your state, and how you co-create with other people. And not necessarily in the classical sense. In any way, shape, and form, when you and another person bring energies together, that's when things truly happen. And you will learn this. It will feel like other people are silly and stupid in comparison to you, because they will just not have that sense, that dimension of yours. But for you, it will be the greatest thing ever. But where you meet others in that dimension, which is only available to you and few others, those alliances, partnerships, connections, whatever, call it whatever you want, that's gonna really, really feed you, if that even makes sense. That's gonna make your life so much easier. So, yeah, a connection, a powerful connection with another soul, with another spirit. As I said, I do not know. Or the Two of Wands reversed. Maybe you kind of already know who that being, person, whatever they are is. It would have been just very awkward to connect until now. But now either you have the courage or the belief, or you kind of see things as that person being whatever, and whatever that is, and you can connect. You have the courage to connect. The oracle cards are not in good shape today. Well, I'll just use this one. New experiences and possibilities. Yeah. The oracle cards are just telling you that it will be different. Reality will feel different. Everything will feel different. So you can imagine that experiences are gonna feel so new, so fresh. And maybe whenever you get lost a little bit, that you know, until now, being lost was not comfortable. Now it will be like, when a child gets lost in Fantasyland, time of their life. So yeah, expect things to feel so very, very different. I do hope that this was helpful. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, bye for now. So hello everyone who has chosen the third and final symbol, the hexagram. Just like for the previous piles, let's see what Spirit has to say. And of course it will be spiritual or magic alchemical reading only. Ten of Cups, Six of Swords reversed, Spirit of Pentacles, Five of Cups, aha, not bad. Temperance, Seven of Wands, Sophia, which is strength. I had to think there for a tiny bit. And the Lovers. Okay. So, for you guys who have chosen the third and final symbol, this is where it doesn't, your actual spiritual life doesn't matter in the classical. How it was, what you did, what you came contact with, what you developed, what you learned. This doesn't actually matter. What matters is that maybe in 2019 or 2018 or either 2009 or at certain delicate years, so it's definitely in the 2000s, you had this awakening, the awakening, and you really felt connected to the universe, to spirit, to, in a quantum way, in a palpable way, where it wasn't like it might have been a few months of this, maybe even a year. For most, I do believe it's like 9 months or something like that, where you actually felt like you lived in a different reality, because big things happened, symbolic things, you understood stuff, downloads, you had this ability to manifest stuff. So that's why the spiritual part of it doesn't even matter, your spirituality in the classical sense, because you were there. Now the thing is that slowly you got disconnected, and not in a, maybe that coincides with 2020, COVID, Pluto, how, the World of Capricorn started crumbling, so of course energies were deeply disrupted, and you could not connect back to that. Meanwhile, spiritually, and you know what, you figured stuff out. But in an ironic way, you discarded so much spiritual knowledge that you always valued. You discarded it. It was like, once it seemed like gold, now it's like rusted copper, even. Not. And don't get me wrong, copper is highly useful. Much more useful in many situations than gold. Yet imagine the value wise. We're speaking about spiritual value. So yeah, it was discarded because something so much better took its place. But you see the Six of Swords reversed, Ten of Swords reversed, Nine of Cups and Three of Wands. It was not easy. It was almost like maddening. Because, how should I say? You thought this, and then you thought the opposite. And then it was almost like the universe was playing a fool's game. It let you believe what you wanted. It did not tell you straightforward. But you finally are in a position where you don't care. Your GPS is working, you're okay, you're all okay. But this is where whatever was interrupted back then, that awakening is returning. It's knocking, and you expect so many things, good or bad, or but your spiritual journey is there. You expect it, but not. You perhaps this is what you did not expect. That phase or that vibe, that mood, that dimension, that frequency returns to you, and it's already knocking in your door because you're getting nuances of it. It's like you're smelling it, you're feeling it for minutes, for small fractions of time, and you can kind of go back, remember, where did I have this olfactory sensation, or this me picking up this frequency, this smell, this person, even if a person just resembles a person who you used to either just see, just interact with visually, just say hi. But back then, when you were in that, caught up in that bliss or whatever they call it, in that frequency, in that very, very similar to 5D frequency, it wasn't 5D, but it was similar to it. And you keep seeing people who look the same way on the street, and it's slowly but surely alluring you back. A part of you refuses dead on, because as sweet as it was not, it was almost like a drug. It kind of really distorted all your senses, and it was so hard to get back to 3D life. And 3D wise, it disappointed you because it got you into trouble, either at your job, livelihood, relationship, housing. In 3D reality, it did disrupt you a bit, and you got into trouble. You got into, I don't know, harder times, or you needed to be supported by family or someone who you really, really did not want to support you, but you had no choice. You might have thought that the spirit was gonna drop a sack of money for you to just be lost in the state, but it just dropped breadcrumbs, so it worked you. It disappointed you. Oh, sorry. See, this worshipping the false Ace of Cups. The illusion of the Ace of Cups. And yet, spirit, or whatever you thought it was gonna happen, then did not disappoint you. Whatever the miracle you were expecting then in the 5D, it happened, but you just could not have it. Let me just give you a few examples which are likely. The big life change where you are living in a totally different society, where you are doing very okay, uh, that kind of happened symbolically because you got mountains of gratitude. Thank you, real thank you from people past and present. So basically, your karmic past bowed down to you. So, it didn't happen in the present, but the past was healed. And the thank yous, the recognition, and people actually showing you that you were a valuable part of their lives, that happened. So, only your vanity was disappointed. If it's money, or material life in that sense, you see, you were never gonna become a millionaire. You got to be free from needs and money. That was always from first moment your reward, that you don't need a fixed slavery to provide for you. You can simply trust yourself that always your needs are gonna be met. Yeah, more of a basic needs, but that also means free. That means that the universe is feeding you no matter what happens to you. That was your. Isn't that better than being millionaire or whatever? Or if it was a big love, the big love, well, it might have been just a one night stand or a minor physical action with him or her, but you did not expect their soul not to react to yours, as in them to be the most compatible being to you, and to let you go like that, as in not, symbolically it happened. So really, the more you undisappointed yourself, the more you came to realize that everything that you thought was promised to you in that state actually manifested, that it was real. This is why it's knocking. What happens next? I don't know, you don't know, no one knows, but all these cards are the symbols. Maybe the position in society. Maybe, the material life being much more supportive, because this can also mean you grow something. You provide for yourself in ways that you did not interest you whatsoever before. Not that you couldn't, you didn't care. And maybe the big alliance or whatever starts with a touch and a caress. So yeah, for you guys, basically the message is that the bliss is return. Whatever that is, it's returning. And I don't know how much ready you are for it, but since you've had the experience, you're a veteran. So chances are you're gonna help others for whom it's the first rodeo. So you see how new friends and new people and new energies and new attractions can enter your life. And how nothing is gonna be black and white. And again, very different. Oh, come on. So maybe right now you're in a deep, deep, deep stagnation. You just don't know what to do. You don't even know what's real, what's not real. You're even frustrated. And you might be living like a very strange Aquarian state where you're a tiny bit depressed and you don't have so much hope for the future. I don't know if this is a dichotomy or how, but the other part of you is so very hopeful and looking forward to it. And these two states are absolutely not fighting each other.
they're actually good bedfellows. They're there, and they're even, I don't know, playing within your soul with each other. A tiny bit of hope, a tiny bit of more melancholy, but both are, as I said, so very good. They're like a lava lamp. The liquids don't mix together per se. Oh, but the beauty of it. And they belong together, but they still don't mix. That is how these feelings are within you. The pause. So you can imagine that it's a bit like inertia, like, okay, what's happening? I I want things to move already, but at the same, I don't really care. But I so don't care. So which one is true? Be gentle with yourself. But when you are gentle with yourself, I don't even know how to say it. It's just, it works. It works. So you know that the universe is delaying something. You know, when it's, delaying. And that's why it's delaying. Because you will then suddenly, surprise, surprise, you will start waking up in the morning that you are not in Kansas anymore. Even though you are, you're very much not. And then who knows where the journey will lead you. Maybe expect relocation. Maybe expect all the craze that comes with it. But yeah, whatever happened maybe 4 years ago, or when you were 33, I don't know if we're expect that to make a comeback. Where it will lead you, who knows. But, thank you so much for listening. I do hope that this was helpful. And if you'd like to support my channel and my work, you can donate in the PayPal link in the description below. And thank you so, so very much everyone who supported me and who, made sure that I'm here today. Thank you again. Until next time. Bye for now.